Well, it's the start of a new year, and that may be just the perfect time for you to start reviewing your insurance.
And here with what to look for and consider, today's community sponsor, Farmers Insurance. And we have agent Dennis Starkey here to break it down for us. So now's the time to maybe start looking things over.
Well, we kind of like for people to do that on a regular basis. In fact, the beginning of the year is always a good time to start any review of any particular thing. But insurance particularly because there's a lot of things that can happen in a year's time, and you want to make sure that you have all the proper insurance prior to something happening.
Not going to lie, my eyes kind of glaze over when we start talking insurance. It's kind of a set it and forget it thing for me. I don't like dealing with it, but thankfully there are folks like you who do. Why is it important in your eyes to have someone such as yourself that guys like me can go to when we have questions and make sure everything's in order?
Well, it's interesting because most people really don't understand insurance. And so having someone who deals with it and can explain it to you really makes it more easy for people to understand what they need and why they need it. Unfortunately, with insurance, if you don't have the proper coverage before an accident happens or a loss, then you're not going to have, made yourself whole again. So the bottom line is, by having an agent and a review with an agent every year, you can keep things updated. What I find is most people don't really understand insurance, so what they do understand is what it costs.
Right.
And so they go looking online and they go looking, for the cheapest insurance. Well, that's good, except and the bottom line is you got cheap insurance, not necessarily the insurance that you need. And every person's a little differently because they have different needs, they have different assets they need to protect, and that's really the basis for why we have insurance, is to protect our assets that we've accumulated.
Let's talk life insurance.
Okay.
There's different kinds and types of life insurance out there, right? What are the different kinds? Because I know there's term life insurance.
And permanent insurance.
So what are the differences?
Well, the best way to describe term insurance is basically it's for a set period of time for a set issue that you want to cover. For example, most people buy a house, right? It takes two people to buy a house today, two incomes, okay? And what happens is if one person is not there to continue that, then you're going to have to sell the house. It means you're going to have to find another place, and you're going to have to probably move the kids if you got kids involved. And so a lot of things can take place if you're not properly covered. So that's the main reason to have insurance, is to cover those kind of things. But you can do it two ways. You can do it with term insurance, which is probably the cheapest way of getting it, but it's for a set period of time. And when that's finished, it's over. If and people don't really want to think about it, but you're betting that you're going to die, and the insurance company is betting that you're going to live. And the bottom line is that's not always a good bet, okay? Permanent insurance has several different forms. You can have whole life, you can have universal life, and most people like universal life from the standpoint that it's very flexible. You can add, there's not a set amount of money or not a set amount of information or premium you have to take in or put out. You can change all that based on your needs. So it's one of the most flexible kinds of insurance, and it covers you for life. Now, for a set time.
When it comes to reviewing your insurance, you're talking about coming in every year, what are some of those qualifying events that might happen in a person's life that would signal, whether it be life insurance or some other one, I need to make sure that I'm taken care of because this happened?
Well, and that's why having it on a regular basis. I try to have every one of my customers meet with them every year, okay? Because what I don't want them to do is come up to that life qualifying event and not be prepared for it. For example, it would rather be life insurance. If kids, for example, are a big part of why people buy life insurance, is to make sure that there's continuation of income so that they can finish education or some of those things. You can't do that afterwards, okay? So you got to plan for it in advance.
You offer discounts?
Oh, discounts, lots of discounts. We're probably the top discount carrier in the area. We have a lot of what we call affinity discounts, like teachers, for example. If you happen to be an educator, we will give you a discount for having your insurance with us.
TV personalities, are they on the list anywhere?
We'll work on that.
Talk about that,
Tim.
Final question.
Okay.
Farmers Insurance, the commercials are always known for the crazy things that have happened.
Right.
Crazy home claim for you? Do you have one that comes to mind?
Well, let me just tell you the one I like the best about our commercials. And by the way, they are real.
Yeah.
Every one of them got a certain amount of it that's real to it. But the one I liked was, remember a couple years ago when we had the synchronized swimming in the Olympics, and the dogs jumped into the house. You know, I just think that was one of the neatest things I had.
Those are all funny. Well, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll get you connected with all the information that you need for Farmers Insurance at CILiving.tv. Coming up.